How do you deal with a family that thinks they're spice gods? I work at a hot sauce store in a busy outlet mall. The shop is popular with locals, but we also get tons of tourists who walk in because they recognize Hot Ones sauces or want to test their bravery with something extremely spicy. We offer a huge number of samples every day, around 100 hot sauces and more than 50 barbecue or wing sauces on the table, plus many extra bottles we can bring out from the fridge. Because of this, people often wander in wanting to try the hottest thing in the store. They brag about how much spice they can handle, how they eat whole jalapenos or snack on habaneros, and then they expect us to hand them something that will nearly burn a hole through their stomach. Usually, to save everyone's time and to keep the situation safe, we guide them to the 10th hottest sauce first. That sauce alone makes most people rethink their confidence. While I was helping real customers who were actually buying products, a boy around 10 years old ran straight into the store. I always get nervous when kids come in alone because the shelves are full of glass bottles that break easily. This boy didn't even look around. He rushed up to me and shouted, "Excuse me," while I was still talking to the customers in front of me. He repeated it over and over in a loud, whining voice until my customers finished paying and walked out. When I finally asked what he wanted, he immediately asked to try the hottest sauce in the store. I knew instantly that this was not something I could allow. The hottest sauce on the sample table is Hellboy, Right Hand of Doom, which contains a 6.66 million Scoville chili extract. Even adults who think they can handle extreme spice often end up coughing, sweating, or feeling sick for hours afterward. I told the boy he had to be 19 years old and sign a waiver to try it. That rule wasn't real, but I was tired and didn't want to deal with a crying child having a meltdown in the store. Instead, I gave him a fermented habanero sauce to try, which still has a strong kick. He started coughing immediately, eyes watering, but insisted he could handle the hottest one because he eats peppers with his dad all the time. I just said okay and let him leave, hoping the situation was over. But about 15 minutes later, a large woman in a bright blue blouse came into the store and stood near the sample table. She blocked a good portion of the walkway and shouted, "Excuse me," in the same annoying tone as the kid. The customers I was helping kindly let me talk to her. She angrily told me that I didn't let her son try the sauce, as if I had committed some terrible crime. I explained to her that the sauce contains a very strong extract that can cause pain even for grown adults, and there was no way I was giving it to a 10-year-old in the store. I said she was welcome to buy the bottle and let him try it at home if she wanted. Instead of understanding, she began bragging about how she married a Mexican man and that the food they ate in New Mexico City, where he supposedly grew up, was hotter than anything we had in the store. When I asked for an example, she simply insisted that their food was hotter without naming anything. Before I could continue, her daughter joined in and asked, "Why do you sell Valentina? It's not even hot." The comment made no sense because Valentina clearly says salsa picante on the label. At this point, it was 5:50 p.m. and I was off at 6. I was done arguing. So I decided to let the situation resolve itself. I told the woman she could try the sauce herself. If she handled it with no trouble, I would let her son try it. She agreed confidently. I opened the bottle of Right Hand of Doom, and even the strong smell reminded me how powerful it was. I warned her to take only a very small amount. She smirked, dipped her sample stick all the way into the sauce, and put it in her mouth without hesitation. Within seconds, her entire expression changed. All her confidence disappeared. She struggled to breathe, coughed uncontrollably, shook her head, and couldn't even form a full sentence. She dropped the sample stick and kept dry heaving. After several painful minutes, she managed to whisper, "Water," but water doesn't help with extract heat. My coworker walked in just in time to see her suffering. Trying to save face, she said the only reason she coughed was because it went down the wrong pipe. But right after saying that, she leaned over and vomited heavily into our trash can. She called it spitting up, even though it was clearly a full-on explosion. Then she left without saying anything else. When my shift ended at 6, I took out the trash, smiled, and happily clocked out. The day had been chaotic, but at least it ended with a bit of well-deserved satisfaction.